kind of roll. Who can tell me what 6 plus 2 is? We can stretch a little bit. A great day would be having our kids come in and having just a great time while they're learning. Keep your eye on the ropes.
Mrs. Skiba calls these kids
Crisscross applesauce.
her kids.
You're coming down and up.
And as a health and physical education teacher in the Parkway District, she has a lot of them.
Our building is 450, so I interact with half of them. So 220 a day.
Oh my goodness. And you know all their names?
On their names, because we're with them for 50 minutes. Show me your sit-ups.
In those 50 minutes,
Look at those push-ups.
Mrs. Skiba does a lot.
You all have 3 minutes at each station.
On this day,
Hands back here and roll.
she's teaching the little ones gymnastics.
When you climb, it's gonna move.
From climbing on the cargo net,
Heads down.
to rolling down the wedge,
Tighten your body. Now go up.
to balancing on stability balls.
Look at you go.
All of these techniques teach the kiddos how to use their bodies and their minds.
Knowing what they're learning in the classroom, we can connect to things that are going on from there into PE. For example, now go down. Using the stability ball to do push-ups, I refer to that as the lever that they learned about in their levers and pulleys unit. And that, the farther away their weight is, the harder it's going to be to do the push-up, and the closer it is to the ball, which is the fulcrum, it'll be easier.
Very good.
There's nothing easy when it comes to Mitzi Skiba.
They learn to work together here.
Don't let the blonde hair and the bright smile fool you. Her students might be after A's in her class, but this teacher has been through the big C.
When things happen, it's not as bad as cancer. It could be a lot worse.
That's very true.
And for Mrs. Skiba, it was. Nearly 7 years ago, she heard the 3 words no one wants to hear. You have cancer.
I missed only 16 days of school because that was 16 chemo treatments. The librarian would take my students and I would drive across the street to St. Luke's Hospital and they would hook me up to my chemo and I would stay there till 5 and I would take Friday off and I'd be back at school on Monday, although there were some Mondays I probably shouldn't have been at school because I didn't feel very well. One parent was a little hesitant and if I was going to be able to teach and go through chemo treatments, which I think is a very reasonable question. I am glad that you are doing this because it teaches my 2 daughters that they can be strong and they can get through everything. And that was like, that's all I needed. That was fine. So, it just made me feel like if I can make that impression and I can show people like, you know what, you can move, you can get through things. There will be tough things in your life and you just have to kind of push through them. It happens. You just move on. Tuck your chin and roll.
That's what she does every day. She moves on to the next activity, the next class, the next child.
Keep going.
Because after all, a great day in the life of this PE teacher
Show me how you do it.
is seeing a smile from these kids, her kids.
That's the beauty of PE, is that they're not just using their head and their brain, they're using their body. Tuck your chin and roll. We just love it when they come in, they're focused. There you go. They're enjoying themselves and we can tell that by if they have smiles on their faces.